Minato and Kakashi are two of the most popular characters in the Naruto series, the former being the Jonin sensei to the latter and the father of Naruto Uzumaki. Both teacher and student would go on to become Hokage, with the former only holding the Hokage office for just over a year, dying on the night that Naruto was born. We know from the flashbacks in the manga about the early days of the formation of Team Minato, but the manga never goes into detail about when Minato first met Kakashi. Well, in today's edition of Kakashi Retsuden, we're going to take a look at the story of how Kakashi first met Minato Namikaze. Now, the information is given to us in the Kakashi Retsuden novel, which is the first of 3 novels that are set between the Majina Bandits arc and the Owl arc of the Boruto manga, where Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura travel to the faraway land of Fudaku to find a cure for Naruto's deadly chakra illness. In the scene I'm going to share with you guys, Kakashi reflects on the losses that he's experienced in his life, from losing his teacher Minato to losing Obito and Rin to his famous father, the White Fang of Konoha. It's during this time that Kakashi, while sitting under the moonlight reading one of the books he stole from the library, that it's in this moment that Kakashi recalls the moment when he first met Minato, which came at one of the darkest moments in his life. So with the context now being provided, I'll begin reading the scene from the novel, and it's here I'm going to begin quoting. One thing that was clear is that his father died because he was rebellious. If he had completed the mission and killed the enemy, then he surely would have still been alive. After the short ceremony finished, Kakashi walked home alone. Kakashi didn't know whether or not he was tired or what the reason was. He was uncomfortable because his vision was suddenly getting shaky. Neither his head nor his body moved very well. The darkness in front of him was getting darker and darker still, and the rain, whose noise is supposed to be as loud, was going further and further away from him. Still, he couldn't stop thinking about it. He couldn't stop thinking about seeing his father there, and he didn't care about any of these things that were going on around him. His feet were wobbling. Someone caught Kakashi's body that was about to fall down. A bright blonde-haired young man suddenly came to light and made things a bit easier for Kakashi to stand. "Hello there, my name is Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash of Konoha. You can stay back as it is." As Minato said so, Kakashi immediately pulled his body together and could stand on his own 2 feet again. He refused to be assisted. He knew who Minato was. Minato, known as a ninja of sharpness. He was a very famous individual in the village and was regarded as being a Hokage candidate. Kakashi had exchanged words with him before on a few occasions, but they weren't particularly close. "I'm sorry, I've been sleep deprived and my feet got staggered." "Well, Kakashi, your father was..." Minato's words were interrupted by a very strong tone, and Kakashi continued differently. "My father broke the shinobi code, and he died as a result. As a ninja, it's only natural to follow the rules. My father couldn't kill his feelings. He couldn't carry out the mission. But those feelings at that level, they're just disturbing. And that's why he couldn't fulfill his duties. That's why he was a failure." End quote. So what really stands out here is the fact that Kakashi, before this moment, had only met Minato in passing before this. This was the first time that he's spoken in detail to a man who would go on to become his sensei in the next Hokage at Konoha. Before then, Kakashi had only exchanged words with him, which could boil down to something as small as mere pleasantries that you exchange with someone you see occasionally around town, which would explain the need for Minato to formally introduce himself to Kakashi. In this moment, when Kakashi's head is spinning after the disrespect that's shown to his father at his funeral, Kakashi was both emotionally drained from the event to the point where he lost his physical balance as he began to walk, but he was also confused about which direction he should take as a person. Up was now down, right was now left. His father said to value the lives of others, and yet the village made it clear that the mission comes before the lives of even those that you cherish. In the moment when Minato introduced himself, his intent was to offer a kind face to a young boy who was clearly grieving and sleep deprived, and to be one of the very first to speak nice things about his father, reminding Kakashi of who his father truly was. However, much as it is always with Minato, despite being the fastest man alive, Minato arrived just a little too late, and the damage was already very clearly done. Kakashi had already been far enough down the path of isolation and stubbornness that Minato's words wouldn't be able to reach him for a while. It would be during this moment that Minato would see the birth of the very stubborn Kakashi. He would be responsible for leading on that fateful mission during the Third Great Ninja War, where Kakashi had been promoted to Jonin and was given the role of squad leader for the very small team of Kakashi, Rin, and Obito. The boy who would wind up endangering the life of Rin on that same mission and ultimately lose Obito to Madoru Uchiha when Obito got crushed by the boulders, had been staring Minato in the face and Minato didn't even realize it at the time. So my question to you guys is, do you think that if Minato had said something to Kakashi during the funeral for the White Fang, that Kakashi's trajectory could have been altered, or was Kakashi already too far gone by the end of the funeral for Minato's voice to reach him? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day guys.